right, there's live. Okay. On the countdown. No reviews. Exactly the way you like it.
We might have some viewers for 2 weeks ago, I tell you.
We might. In there like swimwear. In here like fishing gear. In the club, like the long sub. In your house, like an angry spouse.
It's not where I thought that was going.
Especially your Yeti looks like a giant Lego man. It's so yellow.
It does. It looks, yeah.
Like it's filmed the Lego movie over there.
I promise you wouldn't put on one. Hey, go to Chartreuse. What's up?
You live. I'm waiting on you to speak. You said I have a cold open this week. So here I am waiting
We're
on
on
you.
here? Okay. So after months of consideration and thought about it, I have decided
You haven't been thinking about this for months.
that I will be committing to Bishop Sycamore.
Will you? Will you now? Hold on. There's the overlay. Hold on. Are you muted? All right. Spencer's not muted. Okay. Sorry about something else. Welcome to the Game Day Breakfast Podcast. Spencer had a lovely coat open. He's referring to Bishop Sycamore. Steven's in here lurking. Trey's in the chat. What's going on? He says, say something. Where are the strippers? You need to go to a different podcast. We're not going to have that kind of action for you, unfortunately.
That's on a different website.
Unless you want me to strip, in which case, we can have that conversation. But welcome. To begin today, I do need to get something out of the way. I've been thinking about this all week. I was thinking about it last week whenever I was not on the show, because Spencer and I had a little text chain. I wasn't here because I was sick. Spencer was on vacation, so we didn't get to do it. But I sent Spencer a text. I said, let it be known that I got UCLA over LSU tonight. He sent a gif of Kevin Hart that says, let me explain why that's bullshit. I said, LMAO, it'll be close, but that's my pick. I would explain more on the show. Spencer said, first off, Dorian Thompson-Robinson was 10-20 in their first game against Hawaii. Not accurate at all. No touchdowns. LSU has the two best cornerbacks in the country on their team with Derek Stingley and Elias Ricks. And yes, Zach Charbonnet ran all over Hawaii, but Hawaii was ranked 105 in rush defense last year. UCLA is playing an SEC defense and line, so shut down that running game. Oh, shut down that running game. And Louisiana just got hit by a hurricane, LSU by 3 touchdowns. Let me now inform you what went down.
I still stand by every statement I made all of that was factual.
Let me now inform you all.
All of that was real, by the way.
How the game actually ended up.
I'm going to let you know it didn't go the way that me as an LSU fan wanted it to go.
Looking at the score, I want to put it to you this way. I want to read what I responded. He said, and then real quick, just to let you know, the next thing Spencer said to me was, all bias aside, that's pure stats, my boy. I said that's a solid point, but in their losses last year, UCLA only lost by single digits. They never got blown out. I think DTR has a better game. I think they get the ball to Charbonnet in space and they score when they need to. I said, I think Orgeron without Burrow is Belichick without Brady. They ain't moving the ball enough on offense this year. Again, look for this to be a low-scoring affair. I was wrong about that, but give me the Bruins. And guess what happened? The Bruins ran all over these boys. It was ugly, except that first quarter was very quiet. There wasn't any scoring in the first quarter, but it got hot late. Let me tell you that much.
They definitely did what they needed to do. Mm-hmm. UCLA might be the real damn deal. I'm not gonna lie to you.
UCLA was impressive, I gotta say.
Yeah.
And it's nice because, like I said, the only losses they had last year were all single digits, right? And again, it was a weird year. It was COVID. I mean, they only lost by single digits. They were in every single game they played. Chip Kelly needs time, but once he's got his pieces, once he gets things running the way he wants to, he's had a hot moment to do it. But now he might be on the right track.
You gotta love a Chip Kelly offense.
Absolutely.
I mean, when he was the coach at Oregon back in their heyday, you gotta love a Chip Kelly offense. Mm-hmm. So props to UCLA. The game didn't go the way I wanted to, but props to UCLA. I do like Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I think he's a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. I like Chip Kelly as a coach. So they might be the real deal. Also, I'm gonna put this out there. Everyone in sports media right now coming for Coach Orgeron's head, stop that shit. He is not gonna get fired for losing one game in a season. He just came off of a COVID season where everything was screwed up. Yes, they went 5-5, but they upset Florida. Everything was messed up. The year before that, they went 15-0, won every possible award they were nominated for, won the national championship.
Let me ask you a question, Spencer. Who did they have that year? Who did they have that year?
They had Joe Burrow, but what I'm saying
who won the Heisman that year? Please refresh my memory.
That's what I'm saying. Joe Burrow won the Heisman, but stop coming for Coach Orgeron's head because he lost one game.
Look, I'm not coming for his head. I hope he sticks around because I feel confident that my Aggies can handle this dude. I feel confident that my Aggies can handle LSU if Coach O is at the helm. So I hope he stays around. I'm not coming after him. I'm just saying that he is not.
That's all I've seen all week. Well, Coach Orgeron's going to get fired. Blah, blah. No, it's one damn game, and UCLA is a good team. Chill.
Let me tell you this, Spencer. If they have any type of season that resembles what they had last year, don't be surprised if the
you don't fire a coach coming off just wanting. Imagine Alabama wins the Natty, has a bad season, and then loses one
but Spencer,
game.
That's Nick Saban. Come on now. Come on. We're talking about
no other team. The only other team that does something like this is Texas.
Yes. That's
Texas would do something like this. But
I would give you
LSU doesn't do this.
I do want to linger on this game though, because I was very impressed. I'm sure as you were as well. I was very impressed with the Chip Kelly offense. And I will tell you this much too. The play of the week is back, baby. And the play of the week this week, of course, is from the UCLA LSU
Now, I didn't
game.
get to watch all this game because I was out to dinner. Vacation, my anniversary was this past Sunday.
Congratulations.
So we were out. Thank you. We were out to a very nice dinner at a very nice Brazilian steakhouse. So I didn't get to watch all of this game.
Goddamn.
But I did.
Steakhouse. Shit,
it's called Chamaguacha. It's really good. There's one in Houston. You should go.
You ever notice how when a restaurant is hard to pronounce like that, it's just delicious automatically?
Dope, yeah.
How'd you say it was again? What's it called?
Chamaguacha.
Chamaguacha.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
It's very good. They have a thing where I'm
salivating just thinking about it.
There's a salad bar, and you can get whatever you want. But the whole salad bar looked like a big ass charcuterie board. There was different types of cheeses and salads and pastrami and there was a bunch of delicious food up there. And then you have these little cards on the table. They're red on one side and green on the other. You start off red. When you flip it to green, that means you're ready for the meat to come
Yeah, I've
out.
heard about that. And then they'll just keep bringing it to you until you flip it. But you got to pace yourself, as I understand it.
Yeah. They'll bring out all different kind of steak, chicken, pork, lamb chops, sausage, everything. And then it came with fried plantains, mashed potatoes, and this stuff called polenta, which is like it's supposed to like clean your.
Sounds like a drug.
It's like cornbread. Imagine like really like stiff, dry cornbread.
Huh.
With like had flavor to it. You're supposed to like eat that to curb the richness of the steak. It was very delicious. But I will say this: I tried filet mignon for the first time at this place. Not a fan.
Really?
Not a fan.
The first fancy food I can remember ever having was chicken cordon bleu, which I don't think is actually that fancy. It sounds fancy as fuck, doesn't it? You ever had that chicken cordon
bleu is good though.
Whoo, boy, it was so melty yet rich. Oh, it was so good. I had that a long time ago at a hotel, I think. But
anyway, back to football.
Yeah, that was a nice little aside. Yes. So play of the week this week. Glad to
We're doing good tonight, Will, by the way.
We are. Oh, Will is Will in the chat. What's going on, Will?
Yeah.
This is the play of the week. So to stay on the LSU UCLA game, which by the way, again, very proud of that I was able to pick this because I felt like I was going out on a limb. And in fact, I was watching college football game day. Only Kirk.
When Herb Street said UCLA, I was like,
you started to worry. You were like, fuck. Oh shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, here the play of the week. Early in the game, right? What is LSU thinking about after the performance? Let me ask you this, Spencer. This is all a question relating to the play. What player is LSU thinking about defensively? What
Zach Charbonnet.
They're thinking about, yes, Zach Charbonnet went 106 yards last week on the ground, 3 touchdowns against Hawaii. Of course, he's always thinking about, what's his name, the quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. 10 of 20 for about 100 yards and a touchdown. They're expecting, what they're trying to do is make this team one-dimensional. What they're trying to do is force DTR to actually be an efficient quarterback and throw the ball. So what they did here is they load the box, right? Mm-hmm. They load the box. They're fully expecting Zach Charbonnet. DTR does his job. He throws it out to his tight end. What's the guy's name? Greg Dulrich. And just makes this LSU defense look ugly, man. I mean, it is ugly. He gets 2 defenders there at the end. He shakes the first guy. Who is 28 on LSU's defense? Who is that? Was that one of the
wild? I don't know.
That had to be one of the safeties that you were texting me about.
Nope.
They just got
Stingley wears 7. Elias Rixner wears number 1. I don't know who 28 is.
Well, one of them needed to be over there because he went. I think it was about 36 yards. We're gonna find out what it was. It's gonna show it here in a second.
Yeah, he missed an awful tackle.
Well, it wasn't just the missed tackle. So here's what actually happened on the play. Again, Greg Dulrich, that's the tight end's name. Here's what actually happens, and here's what makes the play special. And one of the reasons that tight end is a broken position in football. It's unfair to use the tight end in a lot of situations. So here it is. Again, LSU's loading the box. Look at their line. Look at the 3 linebackers, 1 safety. Not 1 safety, 1 defensive back. What are they doing? Immediately, we have Zero go over here. I forgot who Zero's name is. But then you have Charbonnet go left here as well. Charbonnet takes a fake handoff. All 4 of the LSU players behind the line bite. They all go this way. The whole momentum of the play is going this way. And by the way, let me scooch back real quick. The tight end is lined up way over here on the left. All he's going to do is just sneak out, and then boom. The entire LSU defense is on the other side of the field worried about Charbonnet, and then boom. He's all by himself. He beats 1 tackle, and that's just taillights, man. You're not catching. You can't. And that's the thing. You can catch this guy, but here at the end, they don't make the tackle. 2 guys on him, and he still manages to get through the big man scores. It's an impressive play. It's a fun play. It's a play I like as a person who is a big fan of tight ends. So that's why I picked it as play of the week. But that was pretty much the tell of the story. Is that LSU didn't have a lot of answers defensively, which leads to my next question. Are you worried about that, Spencer? Do you think LSU rebounds from this? You are. Okay.
This week will be fun because we're playing McNeese. Interesting story about this week's game. Coach Orgeron's son, Cody Orgeron, is the quarterback at McNeese.
Really?
Yeah,
so
he gets to play against his dad.
McNeese.
So these next 2 games, we play McNeese in Central Michigan. I fully expect us to win these games. We're going to work out the kinks. I think Garrett Nussmeier might get some playing time this week instead over Max Johnson.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Max Johnson was very okay.
But seeing the way our defense played against UCLA, I'm very worried about our defense against A&M, Alabama, and Ole Miss. And maybe even Auburn now, because Auburn put up a bunch of points against Akron.
Yes.
I know it's Akron, but Auburn's offense played lights out. So
look, man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a ACC team.
We'll always have
AAC
2019
team.
though.
Well, look, man. This is what I have discovered, especially week 1 after a weird year, right? After whatever the hell 2020 was. These week 1 games all these teams are shaking off rust, man. It doesn't matter who you are, even if you're Oklahoma, even if you're the what? What were they? The number 2 team in the nation.
They're number 2, and they almost lost to unranked.
And they almost lost to unranked Tulane. Only won by 5 points.
Pull up the text. I told you Tulane was going to hang around. Yes, I did come back
Spencer's
later.
point, he did say Tulane was going to hang around. He also, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say that they could win if they were at home, but now they have to get moved?
Because of Hurricane Ida, that game was supposed to be played at Yulman Stadium in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. I feel as though if that game is played in New Orleans, Tulane wins the game.
Sorry.
With my full chest, I believe that. And we'd have a big upset. We'd have 3 big upsets.
And they almost had it in Norman. I mean, really.
Yeah, they almost had it. They only lost by 5 points.
But the point.
Yes, Oklahoma pulled off for a second, and that's what I text you. I was like, yeah, I said Tulane would hang around. I never said for how long.
But they couldn't comfortably put it away. And if you're an Oklahoma fan, you've got to be worried about that.
Yeah, especially number 2.
And especially considering that they're about to make this move to the SEC next year.
Yeah, Michael Pratt, the quarterback for Tulane, impressed the hell out of me. This kid is tough.
Yes.
Like, this kid eats nails for breakfast
and
pisses musket balls. Like, this kid is a beast. So
no, I was very impressed with Tulane. I was not very impressed with Oklahoma's defense during that game period. But number 2 is just they did not put it away. Even once they got up, Tulane was able to get right back in it.
Spencer Rattler threw an interception on his second pass.
Exactly. I mean, Spencer Rattler is. And
I was like, "Is this your Heisman winner?" You know that moment from Black Panther. He's
like, "This your Heisman?" No, I don't think Spencer Rattler, if he continues to play like that, I don't think he's in that conversation. And honestly, I haven't thought of you in that conversation to begin with. Obviously, there's going to be comparisons to Kyler Murray. There's going to be comparisons to Baker Mayfield and even to Jalen Hurts to a certain extent. But he just honestly is the lesser of those 4. He has a ton of talent, but his decision-making is just so... to me it just screams, and this is just my take. To me, it just screams, we're Oklahoma, whatever, fuck it, we're gonna win regardless. So I'm just gonna toss it out there, you know.
So like,
and that was kind of the tone I had the whole Tulane game. Is it just never felt like they were ready to put it away. It just kind of felt like we're gonna let it happen as opposed to actually making it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it's like they were playing not to lose, which you never want to do. They weren't playing to win because they were like, oh, it's Tulane, we're probably gonna beat these dudes. Mm-hmm. I got Tulane, I fully expect Cincinnati to win the American, but Tulane, and it's going to come down to Tulane, UCF, and Cincinnati for who's going to win the American. Those are the 3 best teams in the American. I think Tulane might give Cincinnati a run for their money. Yeah. Speaking of Cincinnati and UCF
tell me.
the American.
Is this your funny story about a team's name?
No, it's not.
Oh, damn.
Funny story was about
trying to read your mind.
Funny story was about Bishop Sycamore.
Do we want to explain what Bishop Sycamore is, by the way? Also, let me make sure I acknowledge everybody. Trey, Will, Steven, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Steven mentioned chicken cordon bleu. Hell yeah, man. It's so good. And Will says, Danny made a miss. Top 32 positions. Tight end, top 32 positions in football. Top 30. What the fuck are you talking about, Will? You mean top 3 or 2 positions in football?
I don't know. Anyway, so there's a high school in, I don't know what state they're in, the IMG Academy.
Florida. They're like Florida, by the way.
They're in Florida? Okay.
They're in Florida, right.
They're like a pay-to-play it's an actual high school. Students actually go there to get, but
GPA, all that.
Big high school recruits go there to bump their talent up to get recruited by bigger colleges.
Kellen Mond went there. A couple other notable names went there that are escaping.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. So big. Everybody knows who IMG Academy is. They play a national schedule as opposed to like your local small town high school. They're going to play in your area.
Right.
Them places like the IMG Academy and Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas, where Tate Martell went to high school, they play a national schedule. Mm-hmm. These are big private schools. They cost tuition. You got to pay to be here. So they play these big national schedules. Bishop Sycamore played a game against IMG Academy. IMG Academy blew them out like 50-something to 6.
It was ugly. It was really
ugly.
Fumbles.
Come to find out, Bishop Sycamore is not a school. It is a fake school that somehow duped ESPN into broadcasting their game against the IMG Academy. It's like a fake. These are like all JUCO football dropouts.
These are grown ass men. Let's cut the shit. These are grown men playing against high school students,
and they got blown out.
If I wanted to right now, I could sign. I mean, I don't think I can anymore. I think they might have gotten shut down.
Well, like they're still looking for opponents. Like they're still a team. They still want people to play against them, and like people have like pulled their brand deals from them, and like it started ignoring them, and they fired their coach and all this type of stuff. So
it's just it's so funny because it's totally the bench warmer shit of like, you know, whenever the pitcher walks up and he hands the umpire a piece of paper, it's a birth certificate. It says I am 21 years, or it says I am 10 years old.
Exactly.
It has like $20 bill tucked away in there.
That's what basically what Bishop Sycamore did.
What it is.
They're selling merch now, and I really wanted a Bishop Sycamore T-shirt because that would have been hilarious.
Yes, Steven.
But
Bishop Sycamore is a school that is not a school. Exactly. It is. And it's funny because if you watch the game, right? Like if you go watch this IMG Bishop Sycamore game, pardon me. If you go watch the game, the announcers are like, Bishop Sycamore, you know, giving some young men a chance to play some football. It's a completely online school. You sign up for classes, and then you also show up and play football. It's just giving.
But like, they've had players coming out talking about, look at this nasty food they fed us. Like they don't have a real practice facility. They were just practicing in local parks, and like it's just a big debacle. But they duped here's the impressive thing. They duped ESPN into broadcasting this game on national television. That's the most, like, these were grown men. So imagine getting off your shift at AutoZone, and then you got to go play,
Yeah.
and then you get blown out in a football game and tear your ACL. There was a guy who went down for an injury who was wearing 56. There was not a 56 on the roster that was given to the announcers. They didn't know who any of these dudes were. It's insane. And
meanwhile, that was like Tommy who works over at the USPS. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got to deliver packages tomorrow.
Yeah, it's freaking. It's nuts. Like I'm just like golf clap for getting on ESPN.
And what I thought was so funny about it too is like they have the most inconspicuous uniforms too. Like no
black
color,
helmet,
black everything.
black jersey.
It's literally like they were just like
pants.
We're going to get as much attention as we can, but also get the least amount of attention as we can as well.
Yeah. And it's like they went to a sporting goods store and they were like, I want every black football helmet you have.
Yes.
I want every dark gray pair of football pants you have. And I want black football jerseys with gray numbers on them.
I mean, everyone's joking about it and everybody's telling a story about it. And everyone's joking because it's absurd that this actually took place. And as I understand it, I think it was Ohio based. I'm
Ohio.
pretty sure it was Ohio based. Which
everybody was like, "There's no such thing as Bishop Sycamore." And then when they looked up the address where it's supposed to be, it was just some dude's house. It's happy. Crazy.
I'm so happy it exists. I'm gonna give him a call, man. I'm trying to get back in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's do it.
I might need to go.
I'm gonna play I'm gonna play left tackle.
I'll tell you what, man. I was last night. I was worried that the Cowboys were going to be a team that maybe Bishop Sycamore would give a hard time to, but then they showed up and played out of their minds. But that's for a different show. Anyways, on to the next topic.
The pure agonizing pain of being a Cowboys fan is never ending.
Pain.
It hurts. All I know is pain being a Cowboys fan. Anyway,
next topic.
There were some upsets this past week.
It's funny. I was so sick this past weekend that I can't remember what any of the upsets were because I knew there was
Virginia Tech upset North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina.
And we are Tar Heels fans around. We like Mac Brown. We like Sam Howell.
And look, man,
they got upset by Virginia Tech.
Sam Howell, everyone was so big on. Like, not only were people thinking that Sam Howell was going to be high draft stock, right? Because he will.
Now, he's only played one game. His draft stock can go back up.
Sure.
But we're talking Heisman front runner, maybe
that's
Heisman finalist.
Heisman front runner.
High pick in the draft.
Again, he's a junior or a senior, right? I
think he's a junior.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the year after the year that he had last year. The fans are back. He's got a lot of starters returning. He had a lot of guys.
That's why I
think injury. I mean, they were poised to do so much, but man, they just could not get anything going.
Virginia Tech is probably the real deal. I think the crowds being back helped Virginia Tech win.
I think so.
They got they got to fill up the stadium and sing Inner Sandman when the team came out. Like, I think, like, you watch the highlights from that game and the crowd is so loud. It's like one of the loudest crowds I've heard in forever. And they, Virginia Tech beat them. Like, it was played on a Thursday night. So Virginia Tech just got them.
That really caught me off guard.
And Sam Howell threw a ridiculous interception to end the game. There was like a minute and a half left, and they were out there.
Yeah, just made a bad decision. Couldn't take a sack. He's tried to get rid of it, but he didn't quite get enough oomph behind it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But it is what it is, and just goes to show that week one, man, it can be so dangerous. See week one Maryland, but week one is so dangerous.
They beat West Virginia.
They did. Week one
by
Maryland,
6.
Still a powerhouse.
Yeah, week one Maryland is still in the running of this show. Week one Maryland is true. Week one Maryland is undefeated.
Yes, sir. Just wait till Mr. Sycamore gets a hold of them, though. It'll be a different story.
And then Montana, FCS school Montana, upset number 20 Washington, which I was surprised that Washington was in the top 20 anyway. I didn't watch any of this game, but they upset them 13-7. And then I think Washington State also got upset, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
hang on, I'm looking up. So Montana, a little
FCS school plays
a little FCS
Big Sky Conference plays with like Eastern Washington.
Yes, and to give you guys a little bit of context here, if you're not familiar with how this works, when a Power 5 school opens the season, or it really not even opens the season, when a Power 5 school has a game against one of these little FCS teams, whatever the case may be, if it's a smaller school, they're not Power 5. When you bring a smaller school in like that, we call them like nobody games. We call them like quote unquote preseason type games, because 9 times out of 10, the hosting Power 5 school is going to win. But for that to happen, you have to pay that school to come take the ass whooping, right? It helps the other school. It gives the other school a chance for their team to travel. It helps the school's athletic program quite a bit. Washington, the Huskies, literally paid Montana $675,000 to come to their house and kick their ass.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. So Montana got paid that much money to show up and win this game against the number 20 Washington Huskies team, which, by the way, will be very unranked after this.
Yeah. Most famous example we talk about all the time, 2007 App State versus Michigan.
Ooh, don't do it to them.
App State got paid $400,000 to play in that game. Mm-hmm. And they won, and it's the biggest upset ever. But, caveat, a lot of people seem to forget that prior to that game, App State had won 2 FCS national championships in a row, and they won a 3rd that season. Yep. That team was stacked.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway.
Well, and it just goes to show you, not all FCS teams, not all of these bye-week teams
are a scrub. Don't put App State on your schedule because you might get shocked.
Right, exactly.
App State is FBS now, but don't play App State week 1 because they're probably going to beat you.
Right, and it's matchups. I don't know if you remember this, Spencer, but remember 2 or 3 years ago, Alabama hosted the Citadel and
the Citadel, and it was 10 to 10 going time.
And this is Alabama, the best team in college football for years now.
Yeah. There was no way Alabama loses that game at all. But seeing them 10 to 10 with the Citadel at halftime.
But for reference, LSU couldn't do that to them that year. You feel me? That's how football is in a lot of weird cases. It is matchups.
Football is weird and beautiful, and I love it so much.
Exactly. And so that's why if you're a coach, you got to prepare for every single game exactly the same. You got to treat it like it's a big deal, and and that's something I kind of realized. I was watching a Jimbo Fisher interview where he was talking about whoever it was that came in this past weekend. I can't remember. Kent State.
I like their uniforms.
Yeah, they play like the Chargers. You look like the Chargers, you play like the Chargers. But during his press conference, he spent 10 minutes straight of just explaining why Kent State was good, the type of things they're going to have to be looking for offensively, the type of things they're going to have to look for defensively, just explaining completely like why they're a threat and why they need to take them seriously. And I think that is exactly how these coaches have to approach these games because, man,
you can't underestimate anybody.
No, you don't want to fuck around and have a Montana come and sneak up on you like that.
Yeah, exactly. So now Montana is like historically great. They've won a couple FCS
of course, right?
And like they're always right up there.
They're gonna have a very
in
good
the talk
this year.
with North Dakota State. So they're like always right up there with them.
The Grizzlies is their
the Grizzlies.
You gotta like that.
Montana Grizzlies. Anyway, there was like 3 upsets and it was like 19-point underdogs. And it was the first time it's happened since like 2008 that they won. I want to say Washington State got beat by an FCS team.
Yeah, so I'm pulling it up right now. So number one, I'll just put it on screen real quick. So Ohio State and Minnesota had a very close game. Minnesota was getting ready to steal one there early on, but unfortunately,
roll the boat.
State, yeah, man, I really wanted it to happen. Utah, let's see, Arizona State. Yes, North Carolina was one of them. Miami, of course, disappointed, as we knew they would, except for Spencer because he was drinking the Kool-Aid. Tulane, of course, almost pulled it out. Georgia and Clemson was surprisingly low scoring. Fuck it, tell you what we'll do. We'll just go ahead and recap all the games right now. Georgia and Clemson was extremely low scoring, but Georgia did come out on top. They had one touchdown. Honestly, my friend, this game to me is one of those situations where even though I watched a little bit of it, I didn't get to catch the whole thing. I'm confused as to whether or not this was a defensive struggle and both teams have outrageous defenses or if their offenses did not have what they needed.
The only touchdown that was scored was a pick 6, so it was defense.
Okay, so it was.
Also,
that explains it.
We're big believers in, at least I am, we're big believers in Iowa State around these parts and Brock Purdy and Breece Hall. Mm-hmm. They only beat Northern Iowa by 6 points.
Yes, and if you're not worried about that, you should be as an Iowa State fan.
Very should be because Northern Iowa gave them problems 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Northern Iowa took Iowa State to overtime.
Yes.
And this is like the same group of Iowa State people. Like, took them to overtime, and Iowa State ended up winning. But you got to watch out.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, and Iowa State is a team that we obviously have very high hopes for, especially looking at the Big 12 this year before it expands, and then we'll talk about it later. But, Iowa State, definitely sweating there. Cincinnati took care of business against Miami. Oregon took care of business against Fresno State, although Fresno State
that was a better game. I texted you. I was like, Fresno's about to hang around.
Yes, sir.
They're going to hang around.
Penn State
versus
Wisconsin.
You got Fresno on your schedule. You said that was a great game. I didn't get to watch much of it because I was out.
Penn State and Wisconsin. Let me tell you something. The most boring game you'll ever watch in your entire life. It realistically was a good football game. But sweet Jesus, was it boring.
Wasn't it 0-0 at halftime?
It was 0-0 at halftime. And it was one of those things where like both teams had their chances, right? But then Wisconsin would get into field goal range and then they would fumble. Penn State would get into the red zone. I think they missed a field goal. I mean, it was so like poke it with a stick, do something. You feel me? It was a slow game. Florida took care of business against Florida Atlantic. San Jose State, who I thought was going to upset USC, did not do that.
I didn't think they were going to win, but I thought they were going to hang around.
Nick Starkel threw 2 interceptions, 24 of 64. The problem was they couldn't get the ball. They couldn't run the ball against that defense.
He threw 64 passes. Good God.
I'm so sorry. 46.
I was about to say 24 of 64. What kind of game plan did they have?
Yeah, well, yeah, and like I said, they just could not really run the ball. That was the problem. Of course, LSU got taken down. You can call that an upset if you want. To me, I saw it coming.
It was an upset because it was 16.
Yeah, technically, yeah, I agree. Indiana and Iowa. Iowa did come out on top. They were.
What happened to Indiana? Which means to tell me that Iowa might be the real deal in the Big Ten. Might be. I really think they are. They might be Ohio State's best competition.
I really, really hope they are, and they can run the football. I mean, they really, really can. That was where they found most of their success.
Big game.
Iowa,
big
though,
game this week.
Iowa, though, was very cozy. You could tell they kind of coasted the second half, so that's one thing to maybe circle and be worried about because they scored 14 in the first quarter, 17 second quarter, but then only 3 points in the entire second half. So they definitely
but their defense played great. They held Indiana to 6.
Defense did what they need to, so you got to give props on that.
But you can't do that against Ohio State because Ohio State's going to score points.
You're going to want to see them keep their foot on the gas. Montana, of course, ran away on Washington, which is beautiful. Texas took care of business against the Raging Cajuns. What do you have to say about that?
I'll pick the Cajuns in this one. They upset Iowa State last year. It was a big upset week 1. I still think Louisiana's a good team. I think the Cajuns are a good team. But I think Steve Sarkisian at Texas has got this team on a roll.
No, I agree with you. And I had Texas winning this. Obviously I was rooting for the Cajuns being who I am. But no, I had Texas pinned to win it. Hudson Card looked very efficient.
He did.
He didn't do anything crazy, but he just it was sound decision making, and I think that's really all Sark is looking for out of him, which I think is why he got not as athletic as Casey Thompson, but certainly a guy that's going to maybe make more sound decisions. Whatever he saw in practice, I think.
And that's what I heard in interviews was that Hudson Card was more consistent than Casey Thompson.
And that's exactly
that's
right.
What
he just looked sound. He waited.
He wears that number 1.
Mm-hmm. So that's watch out for Texas.
I talk about the number 1 jersey a lot, but like. Think about the teams with classic like you think about your classic uniforms, your Texas, your Alabama, your Penn State, your Ohio State, kinda, but like your Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, Penn State, just classic looking uniforms. That number 1 jersey, it's symmetrical, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
No,
but yeah.
And then of course Notre Dame and Florida State.
What a game!
What a game!
Did you watch that game?
I caught a lot of the highlights. I saw where
the second half. I watched most of the second half. Like we had went out to dinner.
I saw the Mackenzie Melton drive.
We came back, and when we came back, it was 31-20 Notre Dame. And then I don't know what happened to Florida State's starting quarterback, but they put Mackenzie Milton in, and Mackenzie Milton led them on 2 back-to-back drives that got them back in the game. And I'm so happy for Mackenzie Milton. Because he hasn't played since 2018 when he destroyed his knee.
Yes.
Like, he had to have like 3 surgeries and like a team of like 7 surgeons to get this shit done.
Yeah. And it wasn't the quote something like, I wouldn't expect you to come back or anything like that. The doctor said something like, it's technically possible, but I've never seen anyone come back from this or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then he came back and he almost upset the number 9 team in the country. Like,
totally, Steven.
So, and I was thinking of Will the whole time because Will's, Florida State fan and he's a bit of a Notre Dame fan.
I'm a Mike Norvell fan. I mean, I was rooting for him.
I like Coach Norvell.
After what he did.
I hope he can bring Florida State back to what Florida State used to be.
And I think he could, especially after that performance. I mean, me, I always consider Notre Dame to be a little overrated, so it didn't surprise me too much to see them hanging in there, but it's good that they were because that's where Florida State's program should be with Mike Norvell. Yeah. In my opinion.
That's what I was hearing, you watching interviews and reading. Florida State has taken a massive step up from where they were past couple of years. So,
look for them to make a big push in the recruiting rankings this year, especially if they continue to play like that, because that's one you really, really wish they would have came away with.
And you know what I saw? Speaking of we were talking about Texas. They just got a commit from some guy from the state of Texas, and he's like high up in the 2022 class. If the recruiting ended today, they would have the number 1 class in the Big 12, and if they were already in the SEC, they'd have the number 1 class in the SEC.
Isn't that insane?
Which is crazy to me. That's nuts. Like, we're kind of Texas naysayers around here, but who knows? I was going to say something else. I think we got everything.
A couple quick things. I do want to say that tomorrow is 9/11, which is 20 years.
20th. Yeah,
20
crazy.
years, which it made me realize that I was not quite 7 years old when it originally happened. What I was going to ask you was essentially, where were you? I know because I don't think I've heard your story.
I was in Miss Polling's 2nd grade class at Lorena Oates Elementary School. And we were in class and something happened and she stepped out of class for a minute and then she came back and she explained to us what happened. We didn't watch it. Like, they didn't put it on the TV for my classroom, which was super weird. but she got to go to the library and watch it. And I don't to be honest with you, that day is kind of a blur to me. Like I went home and I remember seeing everything that was happening, but I don't have these big vivid memories about it that everyone else seems to have.
Yeah, most people would have what they call a flashbulb memory. Something happens and it's so emotionally triggering that it seals
obviously
in your mind.
And I think the reason why I don't have an attached memory to it is because we didn't watch it happen. You know what I mean? They didn't turn the TV on, so let us watch the plane hit the tower.
That's interesting.
A lot of people saw that, and I've been seeing people talk this week. Why did they let us watch that? We were in second grade. This was traumatic.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because I didn't even realize all these until you said that just now. It didn't even occur to me that it would have been a weekday, a school day. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what day of the week it actually was on, but just you saying that made me realize it was on a school day because I remember watching it from home. I don't know if I was sick that day. I don't know if I had a doctor's appointment and, my mom just didn't take me back to school because she worked at the school. But for whatever reason, I was home that day.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I saw the plane hit the building on TV. I saw everything happen because it was it was in our living room. I remember my dad was at work. My mom was just sitting in the recliner watching it. My mom was a very emotional person. She was watching it and just tears just streaming down her face while she watched it. And I remember thinking this must be really bad. This because I didn't. You're a kid. You can't fully comprehend.
I knew it was bad. I was. Well, this was 2001, so I was my birthday is September 16th, so I was 5 days away from turning 8.
Yeah, we're so close. September, isn't it?
So, my birthday's next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was almost 8 years old. You don't fully grasp what happens when you're 8 years old.
Not at all.
So we didn't watch it live, and obviously you've seen the horrible things that came out of that day. You've seen the footage. I don't want to talk about them on here. I don't want to trigger anybody's emotional memories, but you've seen the things that happened, and it's just crazy. It's one of the craziest things that's ever happened. You can if you look at the timeline of American history, you put a stamp on that date. But just this is
that was one that it will be in a textbook or is in a textbook
already in textbooks.
Right.
And, there's kids who were born today who don't they know what it is, but they don't remember it the way we do.
Right.
And that's crazy to me.
It's the first real thing like that where it's I was there whenever blah, blah, blah happened. That's, that's kind of our first thing.
And I'm not going to get into any of the geopolitical world politics that went around. I'm not going to get into any of that because that's for a different show that I'm never going to be on because I don't, anyway. But yeah, so, tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. I will be remembering those folks that, lost their lives by watching football. And a lot of teams have tribute uniforms this week.
Yes.
A&M did their little tribute game.
Yeah, they did I'll pull up a picture.
I wish they would have done it this week. I don't know why they did it. Well, no, because they're going to be in Colorado this week.
Exactly. They had to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll be in Denver. So for context, hang on, I'll open image, new tab. And then I need 2021. And it's here somewhere. Here we go. And open in new tab. Okay. So for reference, everybody, this was literally a couple days later, in 2001, the old Kyle Field before they enclosed it, before they demolished it and redid the sides, closed it in. This is the original red, white, and blue game. Stunning, fantastic work. Of course, you have it was fully packed because a lot less seating in that stadium, and I think it was a more important game at the time. Kent State wasn't nearly as crowded, but it did. Of course, they did the exact same thing, and it looked really, really good with the stadium being fully wrapped like that now. But it's just crazy to see, that they would come back and do that 20 years later. It's a nice touch, especially considering the stadium was, has changed since then.
A&M probably did something for. They did 20 years.
They might have done something for 10, but I don't remember reading anything about it or hearing anything about it. So
did they do something for 20 years of Bonfire in 2019?
Yeah, I think they did. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure what though.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's a lot of And I have a list of uniforms in our thing that there's a bunch of teams like Florida has got wearing their helmets with it just says Gators in the script. It's got the American flag in it. Mm-hmm. Rutgers is wearing some tribute uniforms. They had like 37 alumni die on 9/11 in the attack. Yeah. So they're wearing it's like 37 or 31. They're wearing some special uniforms. So it's going to be, if you're watching any games tomorrow, they're definitely going to be talking about that heavy.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be on everyone's mind. So
let's shift gears, man. Two topics. One topic which we'll make very quick, and then we'll move into the game picks. I do want to note, as you put in the notes, that the Big 12 is expanding. They're getting BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, 2017 national champions, and Houston, H-Town, another Texas team.
You can look back at our previous podcast. I've been saying Houston to the Big 12 forever.
Yes.
And they were in the old Southwest Conference back in the day. I also think the Big 12 should get SMU because SMU has taken a step forward these past couple years.
Do you remember back in 2014 when Houston was ranked like 6?
It was 2015 because they upset Oklahoma. Yeah,
it was 15. That's right.
They upset Oklahoma week 1.
And they had Tom
Herman.
No one
thought they were. That's when they had Tom Herman, but then they ended up losing to like Navy because Greg Ward they lost to Navy by 3 points because Greg Ward got injured. If he doesn't get injured,
they might make
the playoffs.
Yeah.
But then they upset Florida State in the Rose Bowl. Mm-hmm. Not the Rose Bowl, the Peach Bowl, I think.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Because we were all sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings in Beaumont while that game was playing.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that just crazy that was a time whenever they were they were number 6? Thinking about that now, it seems so bizarre, but it's so possible. It could happen again.
But now think about it. They're going to be in a Power 5 conference.
Yes. So they're going to have the primetime games. They're going to have they will have a much better avenue to potentially do that now,
I do feel bad for the American.
So will UCF. UCF will have no more excuses.
Yeah. I do feel bad for the American because I'm a big fan of the American Conference, and they just lost 3 of their biggest members. They just lost their 2 biggest members for sure. Yep. But then they lost Houston. But they've still got USF and Memphis. I think here's what I want to happen. We can get into conference realignment talk all we want, but we'll make this quick. I think the Sun Belt and the American should combine. Like, I want to see Memphis and App State play each other. I want to see Memphis and Louisiana play each other. Combine those 2 conferences and, make them a 16-team super conference, not Power 5, but they could be Power 6. That's what the American wanted to be anyway. Mm-hmm. So combine with the Sun Belt.
I am a big fan of I'm a big fan of this move for 2 reasons. One, it actually makes the Big 12 teams again, which number one, that's just...
We can go back to divisions.
I still think they should have stayed at 8 and then changed themselves to the Loco Ocho.
I agree.
I think that would have been live as hell. But I'm very happy with the move. And I'll also tell you this: I'm also a big fan of there being a Florida team in the Big 12.
I am too.
I think that's going to mix up recruiting in some very interesting ways. And
who this helps? You know who helped the Big 12 the most? Honestly, the Pac-12. Because they said they were not going to expand. They said they were not going to expand, which let the Big 12 stay together. Mm-hmm. And now the Big 12 has 12 teams, and now the Pac-12 can be like, oh, guess what? We're the Pac-16 now. Give me Boise State. Give me Fresno State. Give me San Diego State.
Which I'm big and in favor for, but it also is going to solidify that the SEC really is the best conference.
True.
It's going to be the ACC. And we've known that, but the fact of the matter is now is there's no other giant conference to do anything as far as
SEC, Big 10, ACC, Pac-12, Big 12.
Right. Yeah, and it all comes down to recruiting because the SEC spits out
and
NFL,
money.
Yeah, and money, but the SEC spits out NFL draft picks. The Big 10 spits out defensive NFL draft picks. Yep. So, and then the Big 12 and the Big 10, not so much. And the Pac-12, not so much. I think I said something there wrong. Big 12, whatever. The other 3, ACC. That's what I was missing.
ACC.
Unless you're Clemson, unless you're a school named Clemson. But anyways, we need to talk some picks, my guy. We have some big games coming this weekend. I'm gonna let you tee it off though. Who do you want?
Kind kind of not really. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to sell it, Spencer. Come on, man. Can you just yes
well,
and me?
like, there's good games, but like there's nothing that feels super huge to me. But we got to start off the picks by going on the Okra watch. Ooh. We got to talk about our boys, the Delta State Minutemen, aka Fighting Okra.
The Minutemen. I like that.
That's their official mascot. No, I don't. It's not the Minutemen. It's the Statesmen. The Delta State Statesmen, I think. / Fighting Okra. They are currently 1-0 in the season. They won their last game like 45-14, and we're talking about Division III football. Mm-hmm. But me and Daryl, we love the Okra. We think it's hilarious. So we're shouting our boys out at Delta State. They play McKendree University. I've never heard of McKendree University at all. Go Okra.
I was today years old when I learned about the McKendree Bearcats, which is a team that definitely, despite ESPN.com, definitely has a logo. I'm sure they do.
They do.
They simply must. But Delta State, of course, 1-0. The Bearcats of McKendree, 0-1. It's going to be at Delta State.
In Cleveland, Mississippi.
Do we even pick? We're going to pick them every week. We're just letting you know they exist, and we're letting you know we want them to win.
Yeah, the Delta State Statesmen.
I hope they win 69-0.
Since you're talking about that, 69-0.
Why did I say it? I was like, no.
There was a game this past weekend. I don't remember who the two teams were, but there was a kicker. They had 63 points. They scored a touchdown to go up. It was 69-0. And if he makes the extra point, it's 70. But he missed it. And then he tweeted after the game, had to take one for the team. And they ended up winning 69-0.
Here we go. I'm playing the replay right now. Here it is. Mercer.
It was Mercer, yeah. They're about to get that ass
69-0.
Yep. They're about to get beat by Alabama this week.
I just realized. You don't think they're going to score 69 points?
Not against Alabama.
Had to take one for the team. He really did do that.
He shanked the absolute shit out of this kick. You can't tell me he didn't do this on purpose.
Oh, I know. I could have made a prettier kick than that. No, it absolutely was. Man, what a gift. I'm so happy that happened. Yeah. Anyways.
Actually, now just watching that back, I think he actually tried. He just missed it.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I don't know if he did or not, but I would play it. I would play it off like that as well.
Anyway, okay, so let's get into some real games. Go Delta State. First one on my list. Bit of an interesting matchup. We got Cal, the California Golden Bears, going to visit TCU.
The alma mater of one Aaron Rodgers, who I think did something famous, so did something important at some point.
Alma mater of Marshawn Lynch and Deshaun Jackson.
Oh damn it! Now I gotta go find. What league is
Pac-12?
Pac-12. Thank you.
The Cal going to TCU, playing TCU in Fort Worth. This is a rematch of the Cheez-It Bowl from a couple years ago.
Am I blind? How come I can't find? Oh, there. Here we go. Okay.
Daryl, I would like for you to look up the stat line from the Cheez-It Bowl between Cal and TCU a couple years ago, because it is glorious.
All right, I'll do that.
If it wasn't for the memes, I wouldn't be looking.
What was the hold on? Cal versus
TCU Cheez-It Bowl.
Cheez-It Bowl. What year?
I don't remember. Just it should come up though.
What am I looking for? Stats?
Yeah, stat line. There were 7 interceptions in this game.
Okay, hang on.
Final score 10-7. I don't even remember who won, but it was final score was 10-7.
Let it be known they went into overtime, tied 7-7.
Yep.
Let's take a look.
After throwing a combined 7 interceptions.
Chase Garbers threw 3 interceptions. Grayson Williston threw 4 interceptions. God, that's ugly. 7-7 going into overtime. TCU did end up picking it up, even though Cal looks like the stats, the probability, Cal was favored to win it the whole game because they were leading most of the game. But boy, yeah, that's interesting. Thank you for that information.
So we got a rematch.
We do have a rematch. It looks like TCU is a heavy favorite.
Yeah, I fully expect TCU to win this game. I'm going to pick TCU to win this game.
Okay.
Go Horned Frogs.
Yeah, and this is not a game I knew we were picking, to be honest with you. So no, it's fine.
It was for the memes.
No, it's totally fine. But looking at this, there's nothing here that tells me that Cal is going to be successful. So yeah, give me TCU big. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're not going to win 10-7 in overtime.
Probably not.
I think they're going to win
Fort Worth.
In regulation. It might be 28-7.
Yeah. Going to be in Fort Worth. And yeah, Horned Frogs.
All right, Horned Frogs all the way. Let's take it. I'm with it. Who's next?
All right. Let's go to the next one. We've got number 21 Utah at BYU. AKA, there's a rivalry game called the Holy War. Big rivalry game in the state of Utah. BYU looks good. They looked good in their game the other day. And, no more Zach Wilson. But I think their quarterback they got coming in this year is very good. He's very competent.
Yeah, but I bet they are missing Mormon Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I really liked the uniform combination they came out with this past week. It was all royal blue. It was royal blue helmet, royal blue jersey, royal blue pants, royal blue socks. Looked very, very good. They wear royal blue and navy blue sometimes. This one's going to be played.
It's going to be at BYU.
Yeah, in Provo. Mm-hmm. So, who you got there?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. BYU, of course, is adjusting. They no longer have
Zach Wilson.
Thank you, Zach Wilson. It's just such a basic name. I was like, it can't be Zach Wilson. That's another name, right? No. This is a home game for BYU. I don't think that both defenses look fine right now, but I don't think that they're going to be able to withstand the firepower of Utah. So give me the Utes, but expect this to be close. It is a home game, so if BYU could pick up some momentum, they could pull the upset, but I like the Utes in this one.
I'm going to go with the Cougars, actually. I'm going to go with BYU.
Oh, okay.
BYU at home, rivalry game. It's an important game. Give me BYU.
Okay. All right, I'm with it.
Yep.
I respect the pick, and I don't have enough to argue you, so... let me scroll through some games real quick. I'll pick the next one. We got, we're just real quick update. Poor Les Miles in Kansas. They're getting stomped on by Coastal Carolina. It's 28-15.
Les Miles is not the coach of Kansas anymore.
Really?
He got fired. Yep.
Wow. That's a shame.
Because all that stuff that came out from his time at LSU.
So he's just at the crib, just chilling right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Coastal's going to win that game handedly.
This might be the game to circle this week as far as being the good game. But I'm going to go ahead and say it because I want to know your thoughts on it. We got Oregon, number 12, the Ducks, Nike University going to visit the Buckeyes. Same state as Bishop Sycamore. I don't know if they're going to call any Bishop Sycamore guys up off the practice squad to play in this game or not. But the Ducks visiting Ohio State, number 12 versus number 3, 11 a.m. early.
Big noon kickoff from Fox is going to be there. Mm-hmm. We need to start mentioning them. They're the kind of the secondary. Big show next to it's game day, big noon kickoff, and what's the SEC show?
SEC Now.
SEC, or is it? Yeah, SEC Now or SEC
Now. SEC Nation.
SEC Nation. There you go. Those are the three big ones.
What do you think is the line for this game, Spencer?
I just saw it on the screen.
Never mind.
Ohio
perfectly
State
done.
Seems to be a heavy favorite in this game.
Yes, and they are at home.
They are at home. They are in Columbus. They're in the Horseshoe. I'm a big detractor of Ohio State. They get on my nerves a little bit. And I've always been partial to Oregon. I like Oregon. I like their uniforms. I've always, Oregon's good. The key to this game, and period, if Kayvon Thibodeau plays for Oregon, I think they have a chance. If Kayvon Thibodeau is out, Oregon doesn't have a chance. So, both coming off close wins. Oregon had a little bit of a scare from Fresno State. Ohio State had a little bit of scare from Minnesota.
Both looking to stabilize, play a normal game.
Both looking to stabilize. Yeah. I think both of these offenses can score points. But like I said, this game hinges on Kayvon Thibodeau, number 5, defensive end for Oregon. If he's in the game, I think Oregon's defense can play well and shut down C.J. Stroud. He's a freshman starter. He's going to be very good. But if they can contain Chris Olave and those other receivers, and they can lock up on the line and not let them run, I think Oregon has a realistic chance in this game. If Kayvon Thibodeau does not play, I don't think Oregon has a shot.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Oregon because I want them to win this game, but I don't. I'm picking Oregon because I want them to win, but it won't surprise me if Ohio State wins.
Yeah. I agree with you just about everything you just said. It's all going to come down to Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, he is there.
That kid is a beast.
He's a star. He's a leader. He's everything they need on defense. He was injured last week. For those of you that are wondering whether or not he plays, he was injured last weekend or during the Fresno State game. He was in a boot. They're saying that he will be back this year. They're saying that he might be back for this game, but the last report I heard was that he's not healing fast enough to actually play in this game. And even if he does play, is he going to be able to make a difference? Is he just going to get hurt again? Is he going to be gun shy? That type of stuff.
I don't want him to rush back because I like him as an athlete. Of course.
And I mean, this guy is going to go make a lot of money. I mean, he's going to go be another TJ Watt. He's going to go be another Micah Parsons. He's going to be one of these highly drafted first round picks on defense. Sure. He's going to immediately he's a plug and play guy. He's going to be someone that's immediately going to be able to play no matter where he goes. So, I'm rooting for him in this game, whether or not he plays. I just want him to secure his future. I like the Buckeyes here because I think even if he does play, he's not going to be at 100%. And to your point, what Oregon's going to have to do is they're going to have to win up. They're going to have to win up front. They're going to have to make C.J. Stroud play a very sound game and take away the run as much as possible because he was very shaken last weekend playing against Minnesota. He figured it out. He ended up going for 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. So we ended up figuring things out. The talent is there, but there was definitely moments where he was shaking, he was overthrowing, he was underthrowing.
Freshman QB.
Right.
Oregon does have a very experienced defense.
They do. So I think
if Kayvon's in the game, I think they can rattle him and they might be able to pull this upset.
Mm-hmm. If they can jostle him enough, I feel good about it. But like I said,
let's go Ducks.
I want the Ducks to win.
Personally, I'm cheering for the Ducks. I got my green on right now.
Same, but
I got green Nike on. So.
I gotta go with the Buckeyes though. I just don't think there's enough firepower on the
Ohio State's the safe pick, obviously.
Yeah, so unfortunate, but yeah, I gotta go with the Buckeyes here.
Yeah, I'm just writing down our picks.
I'm glad you are because I am not doing that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else interesting?
We got your number 5 Aggies going to Colorado.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk about that real quick.
Like I told you 2 weeks ago, Aggies by a whole bunch.
Yeah, so this is an interesting game. My whole point last weekend, whenever we were discussing this, was that A&M is going to have to go to Denver. I've been to Denver this year. It's a very different breeding.
Is it in Boulder?
No, it's in Denver.
Boulder?
Well, Boulder is where the Buffalo Stadium is, but they're playing in the Broncos
Mile
Stadium.
High.
And they're playing in Mile High, which is cool. Almost got tickets to that game because we like going to Colorado. But my big concern was that A&M is going to have to deal with the altitude change. But whenever someone asked Jimbo about that, he said, look, man, I've been doing this a long time. Every time I've ever had an altitude change, it don't matter. It really doesn't come into play.
Because these are
well-conditioned, right? Exactly.
Well-conditioned college athletes. They're prepared for this,
right? And so that being said, that did make me feel a little bit better. I think it is going to come into play.
Aggies by a lot.
I think it is going to come into play. A&M did look shaky in the very beginning of their game last weekend. Game one jitters.
You
get the jitters out. It's in front of the home crowd, so I think this will be a little bit different. I think
Haynes King impressed me.
He did, yeah. He again, kind of similar to Hudson Card, except for the interceptions, which apparently Jimbo.
2 of those were not his fault.
2 of those were not his fault. The others, Jimbo apparently was saying that he knew exactly what happened every time. He could explain why it happened, and they had good conversations.
Because they got tipped and caught in the air.
Sure. Or a wide receiver was out of place and stuff. But I don't hang that over his head. I think the kid's going to be good. I think he's going to be very careful with the ball. He's going to make better decisions as time goes on. So I like this team. We'll see what happens. I don't know what their longevity is, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I think A&M wins. I don't know, by 3
A&M,
touchdowns.
A&M big.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're gonna. I think ultimately, A-Chain's gonna run all over him. In my opinion.
Yeah,
I think it'll be hard to catch that man once he gets going. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, let's.
Do you want to pick Mercer in Alabama?
Alabama by a lot.
Here, I'll tell you what. Let's do some quick fires then. We'll just do it like this. We won't even really count these. Okay, Alabama State and Auburn.
Auburn.
Florida and South Florida.
Florida. I like Florida's backup quarterback, number 15. He played really well in their game against Florida Atlantic.
Middle Tennessee and Virginia Tech. Yep. Notre Dame and Toledo.
Notre
Dame, but I think it'll be closer than it should be. I don't think Notre Dame covers. And it's a 17-point spread.
I'm not writing any of these picks down.
No, it's fine. We're just talking. UAB and Georgia, of course. Georgia, right?
UAB's a good team, but Georgia.
Okay. Finally, a game we might actually care about. Iowa and Iowa State.
Biggest game of the weekend, number 9 versus number 10.
Brock Purdy
is going to be in.
Brock Purdy hosting them.
Yep. Game Day is going to be in town. They were at this game in 2019, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a rain delay, and Iowa ended up winning by 1 point. Because Iowa State muffed a punt. Crazy game. Battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. First time in the entire rivalry where both teams are ranked. Period. Not just in the top 10, ranked. Obviously,
but to be clear, they are both in the top 10.
They are both in the top 10,
which is wonderful.
Number 9 and number 10. Iowa State's number 9. Iowa's number 10. I think Iowa State is the favorite in this game.
Yes.
But if you watch,
honestly, just because they're at home, because this is the spread is 4.5.
Yeah, Jack Trice Stadium there in Ames. I think this game is going to be very good.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to be watching this game. I don't know. I think this is the late game, the late kickoff, because Game Day is there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going to be watching this game. I'm a big believer in Iowa State. I like Brock Purdy. I like Breece Hall. But give me Iowa.
Yes, sir. Hey, my man.
I don't think it's that close, to be honest with you.
Really? Okay.
Because Iowa State just came off a game where they only won by 6 points against an FCS opponent, and Iowa just ran all over a top 10 team. Give me Iowa by a bunch.
Okay. All right.
Iowa by like 2 touchdowns.
I do think the Hawkeyes win this game. I'm also picking Iowa here. I think Brock Purdy has a tough game, and I think he throws the only touchdown in the game, except it's pick 6. I like Iowa winning this game about 13-9, and I think
Iowa's going to score way more points than that.
Maybe not. I don't know. But these are both very stingy defenses. I think Iowa wins it, but like I said, give me 13-9. You're going to see 5 field goals in this entire game, and you're going to see 1 pick 6, and that's how it's going to go down. Not a single offensive touchdown will be scored.
Yeah,
it's going to be
crazy.
And again, I know what you're saying about Iowa, but this is at Iowa State.
Yeah, I mean,
so
they played Northern Iowa at home too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes, this is a rivalry game, so they may come out more spirited for this. But Game Day's in town. That always hypes the crowd up. The crowd's going to be back. But I got to look at the numbers. Like, I'm a big believer in crowds and momentum and all that type of stuff. Hawkeyes. Give me the Hawkeyes.
I'm looking forward to this game. This will be a lot of fun.
Game's going to be hella fun.
Yes, sir. App State and Miami. Oh, shit.
App State going to Miami, to number 22 Miami. Miami just came off getting blown out by Alabama in a neutral site game.
App State is never someone you should overlook.
Nope. I think this game is going to be close. Even though they are in Miami, you look at what happened a few years ago when App State went to Tennessee, and then the very next year they went to Penn State and almost won both of those games.
Yes.
So Miami, do not overlook App State. I think this game is going to be close, and I think Miami went to App State a few years ago and blew them out, but that was when Miami was a bit of a better team. I know De'Aaron King's a good quarterback, but you can't overlook App State. I think Miami wins, but it's going to be by like a field goal.
Yep.
They're going to go to like overtime, and then it's going to be like a field goal.
Yeah, I like the pick. I do think Miami wins. I think what's going to happen, man, is they're going to come out to an early lead. They're going to go. De'Aaron King is going to look up at some point and he's going to go, "Oh my God, I don't have all these damn Bama defenders. I can actually sit back and relax and throw the ball and be comfortable in the pocket and move around a little bit." So I think that he is going to. They're going to get to an early lead. It wouldn't surprise me if App State began to sort of mount a little bit of a comeback once Miami gets comfortable. But yeah, I do think Miami wins it, but it's close. It's close. Give me the Hurricanes, but don't be surprised if somehow App State pulls this one out.
For sure. Yeah. And then we've got a very interesting game. We've got Texas Longhorns.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Going to
Fayetteville.
Arkansas. No, going to Fayetteville. You know, I don't know if Arkansas has played a game yet. Yeah, they did play a game. They played against Rice, I think. And they ended up winning by a whole bunch, but Rice hung around in like the first quarter.
Rice got out to an early lead.
Yeah, it was like 17-7, and then Arkansas ended up coming back and winning.
Right.
You know, number 15 Texas, they just came off this, big win against Louisiana.
Last time these two teams met, it was in a bowl game, and Arkansas mopped the floor with them.
Yep.
It's a fun year. It was like 2014, back when they had
Arkansas. Arkansas has 4 wins all time against number 1 ranked teams, and Texas is 3 of them. Can you name the other?
Wait. Say that stat one more time.
Arkansas, in their history, has 4 victories against a team that is ranked number 1 in the AP poll.
3 of them were Texas.
3 of those were Texas.
Back in the Southwest Conference.
Can you name the other one?
No.
LSU.
Yep, that makes sense. They have
2007. They went to triple overtime. Arkansas won the game 50-48.
Damn.
Yeah,
well, this would be a fun game, man. You know, this is a good old. This is a Southwest Conference sort of revival of
old rivalry.
Rivalry.
Texas is about to be back in the SEC. These 2 teams are going to start playing each other again.
No, this is going to be a fun little one to watch. Who you got in this?
Who you got?
Who do I got? Okay, well, first of all, it is a 7-point spread. Looked like Texas is the favorite. It's on the road, man. This is a big game for Sam Pittman.
Big game for Sam and Steve Sarkisian.
Steve Sarkisian, right?
Their first true road game against an SEC opponent. Give him a little preview of what they're going to see next year. I think this game can. I'm going to put it to you like this. This game will make or break Texas' season.
I agree because this sets the tone. This is an SEC team, a bottom-of-the-barrel SEC team, mind you.
But they're on the upswing.
They are on the upswing, right? To me, this is a situation that I really do think. You look back at some of their losses from last year that, Arkansas lost to LSU by 3. They lost to Florida by a lot. I take Florida out of that equation. But they lost to LSU close, a very okay LSU team. Mizzou, they lost by 2 points. This is a team that is able to produce points, right?
They got cheated against Auburn.
They
beat Ole Miss.
They looked respectable for a half against A&M. So this is a team that, again, is very mid. This is going to be a good litmus test for Texas. If Texas wins this game, I think that is what fans would expect to happen. I'm rooting for Arkansas, obviously, but I do think the Longhorns get it done.
You have familial ties to Arkansas.
I have familiar ties. Exactly. I have family that is Arkansas fans. So, like I said, I am rooting for the Razorbacks here, but I do think Sark's able to get it done. I think it's going to be a matter of whichever team is more sound, because I think it's going to be a pretty tit for tat type game. It's just going to be whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. So give me Texas. I'm gonna go 31-24.
All right. I agree with everything you just said. Woo Pig Suey. Give me the Hogs. SEC, baby.
Hey, man.
I think I think this game is close. I think it's a good competitive game. I just think Arkansas figures out a way to get this game done, and then Texas slides. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I'll be rooting for Arkansas harder than I'll be rooting for A&M tomorrow. Like, I want them to win this game so bad. I really, really do. I want this to be the welcome to the SEC, bitch, slap type game. Like, that's what I want. And it be against Arkansas, but, because
if you lose against Arkansas, who's like a lower tier SEC team, what are you going to do against the big boys? You got to go home. You got to go home. You got to quit. You got to revoke your card. If Texas loses this game, they don't want to go to the SEC anymore. Yeah,
because this is the smallest shark in the pond.
Yeah, kick Texas out of the SEC and give me Clemson.
Yeah, we'll get another orange team. And then after that, I don't think we have any. Ole Miss, of course, as you know, looked remarkable last week. They might be the team to beat in the West that's not named Alabama. We'll see. That's a big jump. But, yeah, I don't think there's anybody else that Stanford and USC, maybe.
I don't know what Stanford is right now.
Stanford is meh right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm looking forward to a good little solid slate of games tomorrow. Nothing crazy, but you definitely got to watch that Iowa game. You definitely got to watch the Texas-Arkansas game.
Texas-Arkansas. The three big games: Texas-Arkansas, Ohio State, Oregon, and Iowa. Mm-hmm. Iowa and Iowa State.
So, yeah, a lot of fun. Looking forward to this weekend. But who are your Tigers playing? We didn't even cover them.
We're playing McNeese. I already told you that.
Oh, that's right. And then they'll win that game. And
yeah.
Or it'll be like Troy the one year.
McNeese is a good team.
Or it'll be like Troy the one year, which, by the way, Ed Orgeron was the coach for that game.
He was. And McNeese almost upset Nebraska one year.
We started the show by you telling me people need to get off Ed Orgeron. Stop coming for Ed Orgeron's job. He's doing.
If he loses to his son,
if he loses to McNeese
with his son at the quarterback, they're gonna boot his ass.
Let me tell you something. Somebody on the Alabama coaching staff is getting a phone call. That's what's gonna happen. If that happens, I'm telling you, Nick Saban better watch out because they're gonna try to steal a coach mid-season. They'll be like, no, give me somebody.
Who's the offensive coordinator at Alabama right now?
It's next man up. I promise. And look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm a coach, I don't know that LSU's head football coaching position is my number one stop, just because of all the NCAA crap that is already being dealt with there. 10 years from now may be very different, but right now it is not where I would want to land personally.
I mean, we've got our guy, like our dream hire. Coach O is from Louisiana.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. To me, he really is like the perfect LSU football coach. I want him to stick around personally.
Yeah, I want him to be around forever.
I do too.
Coaching is a revolving door.
Yes.
If we can have a respectable season this year, I think he sticks around. Then we can pick up next year. We need to recruit quarterbacks. That's what we need to do. We can recruit all this defense and all these wide receivers. We need quarterbacks.
Hey, all right, Steve. We're about to bounce too. Says I'll catch the end later. Thanks to you too.
I feel like we've been on for a while.
Yeah, we have been. It's been an hour and 17 minutes. It was a good show, though. I mean, we don't really have anything else to talk about, but it was a good show. Bishop Sycamore was Bama, of course. But I'm excited, man. There's a lot.
There's two more things I want to talk about before.
Uniforms, right?
We'll get to the uniform. Yeah. I learned there's new overtime rules in college football, and I'm pissed about them.
Isn't it like the third overtime? They just start only doing two.
That's what I thought was because used to you go to overtime. After the third overtime, you got to start going for 2-point conversions. And then you just do it from there. But after the 7 overtime game between LSU and Texas A&M a few years ago, they changed the rule, which is stupid because they changed the rule for one game. They said that after the 5th overtime, you trade 2-point conversion attempts. Mm-hmm. I just saw a graphic during the Notre Dame Florida State game where after the 2nd overtime, you have to go for 2. After the 3rd overtime, you start trading 2-point conversion attempts. I'm pissed about this. It's stupid. Go back to the way it was before that LSU A&M game.
I don't hate it, to be honest with you. I don't hate it. It makes it very like, okay, now you go. Like, we have to have a winner. I'm fine with it as long as they don't switch to the NFL rule of get the ball, and if you score,
if they do that, I'll never watch college football again.
I'm not going that far, but I will be pissed as fuck.
I'll be pissed as hell.
But no, I mean, I'm fine with this. Like, I can stomach that. You know.
Also, if you're looking at our slider across the top, it says Presbyterian's quarterback throws 10 touchdowns.
Uh-huh.
I discovered who Presbyterian's coach is.
Who dat?
I don't know if you've heard about him. I can't remember the man's name, but he's been in several documentaries. He was the head coach in the state of Arkansas. He's the guy that always goes for it on fourth down, always onside kicks, and always goes for 2-point conversions. He coaches in college now at the FCS level. Really?
I know who you're talking about. Yes. I can't remember his name, but yeah.
I can't remember his name.
His philosophy is like, statistically, if I fucking go for it at every fourth
and he
down.
broke down the whole stat, and like, it's statistically better to do that.
Which breaks
people are like, that's not sportsmanlike, but
which boils down to a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, but statistically, and so you can look up the stats of this Presbyterian game. They started kicking off. They kicked, caught an onside kick. They did that 4 times in a row and went up 28-0.
They said, "Fuck it, we don't need to recruit a punter. That's another skill position we could get."
So he always goes for it on fourth down. He's in the college ranks now. So don't be surprised if he gets picked up by like a Division I team or like a Power 5 team, and they go to the. Imagine an SEC team playing like that.
Something tells me Gus Malzahn is going to give him a call at some point. Now, I know Gus Malzahn is not in the SEC anymore, but
he's in the Big 12 now, head coach at UCF.
That's true. To me, that screams some shit.
That's Gus. That's some Gus Malzahn. He's gonna call this dude, be like, "Hey, I need you to be my offensive coordinator. We're gonna run your shit."
Yeah. Or actually, LSU might call him if Coach O loses this weekend.
Yeah.
LSU might just change their entire offensive philosophy to just go. That's the only answer. Just go.
Yeah. Like, I saw an interview with this guy. He did that same thing in a high school game. He was like, they won the toss and chose to receive, and we kicked an onside kick, got it, went down to score a touchdown. Then we did that 3 more times in a row, and we were up 28.
Such an asshole.
And he was like, we were up 28-0 in the first quarter. What do you do after that?
Keep going.
It's kind of an asshole-ish thing to do, but
no, man.
You're playing games. We're not talking about the morality of what you should do.
It is the football equivalent of a glass cannon, because if you fuck it up, you have horrible field position. The other team scores easy, right?
Exactly.
It's a glass cannon. So, like, if you don't like him doing that, if you feel like it's unsportsmanlike, stop it.
Stop
it. And if you can, then guess what you've done? You've rewarded. It's just he's literally gambling every single time.
But he's coached his teams in such a way that they have the odds in their favor.
Right. They're always going to end up, if they're on fourth down, to be like a 4th and 2 or something, right?
Because I saw interviews with him. He goes, no one does an onside kick right. This is how you do it, and this is what I've taught my teams. And he was like, no one kick. Think about every onside kick you've ever seen, and think about how poorly it's gone. I hate watching onside kicks, especially if it's my team that I need to recover that kick. I hate watching them. Every time they do them, it never works. Mm-hmm. This guy gets them to work.
What I bet he does? I bet he does the chip shot shit where it just goes straight up, and then as soon as it gets to 10 yards, that's about where it's landing, then they has a guy go up and try to catch it. I bet that's what he does. Instead of trying to squib it or do anything else weird.
I haven't watched any of his stuff.
I bet it's a chip shot, because that is kind of the best way to do it. If you can give it the hang time to let your guys get 10 yards.
I've seen teams do that where they line up in like they'll line up regular kickoff, defenses and regular kickoff, and he'll come up, dink, and he'll send that thing in the air, and there's nobody over there by the sideline, and their guy will just run up and catch it.
Yeah.
Alabama did that to Clemson in the national championship a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that was fun.
But yeah,
this was a good show.
Very good show. Let me show you some uniforms there. Let me go.
Let's wrap your uniforms.
There's a whole bunch that I could show you.
Where are you gonna put them at? In the drive?
I have a list in the drive of just uniforms.
Aye.
And you can go grab those. Let me go hop in and see which ones I want to tell you about. there's a lot of teams tomorrow that are wearing, 9/11 uniforms. Let me get to my.
I don't know where you put the uniforms at. I'm looking for them.
I'll find them. There we go. Uniforms 2021. Let me pick one. I just got them in a list.
Just give me one to look up.
Look up Vanderbilt's new uniforms. I think they're cool.
Vanderbilt University football uniforms.
They have newly designed uniforms.
Ooh.
Classic look. New helmets.
Ooh, wait a minute. I'm playing the video right now. Okay. I like the little stripes. That's nice. It's classy. Nothing too fancy.
Yep.
They look like the Saints, of course.
A little bit, yeah.
I like the black masks.
Yeah, and the V. Just the V without the star looks good.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
So.
Oh, that V does look good. Yeah, I like that. Simple.
Yep. Very simple.
I'm with it. All right. What else you got for me?
Go look up Kansas homecoming uniforms.
Come on.
And then I got one more after that.
Kansas homecoming?
Yep.
Jerseys?
Kansas homecoming. I think Kansas has switched to this color scheme permanently.
All right. I love that they put trailers out. I love that they put trailers out.
It's so good.
What are we doing here now? He's running at the camera. Ooh. Okay. Look at the bird on the Damn.
That light blue is crisp.
That light blue.
They should go to this color scheme like that. The royal blue,
Makes
then
me
the light
feel
blue,
things.
and then like just a little splash of red.
Just that red fixes it. Because if it was just the blue on the blue, it wouldn't look quite right. But that red adds a little something to it. That is okay. All right,
we're still good. We're still live, right? We're still streaming.
Yeah.
My stream paused. So
give me one more.
Give you one more.
If you have another one. If you don't have another one, no big deal. We can call it.
Nebraska's 9/11 uniforms.
All right. Nebraska 9/11 football uniform. And we have, here we go. Okay.
It's just an all white look, but if you look at the jerseys very close, there's some camo behind it. A little subtle camo pattern.
This is a long ass little video. I'm just trying to see the uniform, dog. Here we go. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, just basic white, a little bit of red on there.
Looks good.
Ooh, I like the font. Very just classy.
Yeah,
Again,
I like the
nothing
throwback.
extra.
I like the NU, Nebraska University. That's cool.
Yeah, I do too.
So
a little gray up the sides, little beard on this guy.
Yeah, you look at the sleeves, camo looks good.
Oh, is that what the sleeve is? Okay. Yeah, I see it now. Right here on the shoulders. And okay, so it's not gray, it's a little camo, and that's really nice. The NU does look good. The trailer is wholesome. Gloves have some camo on it. That's nice, man. That's a good look.
It is. So, but yeah, there's a bunch more, but I have them in a list so we can do 2 or 3 a week and just rattle these shits off. Yeah.
Well, that is the conclusion of the week 2 show. Week 2? Yeah, week 2. So
long one this week.
There was a lot to talk about. We kind of had to do 2 weeks worth of stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
There was a lot to catch up on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. Definitely check out some of those games. We'll be back next Friday, as usually is the case. This was fun, man. It was good to get back at it. Good to have a play game. It's football season, man. It feels good to be back.
The Cowboys hurt me again last night, but I'm ready to be hurt.
Yeah, it's all right. They hurt me.
My body is ready to be hurt.
They hurt me because they gave me hope this time. It wasn't because it was pathetic like last year. Like I have hope now. Like I think they're gonna have a good year.
Here was my thing. I fully expected us to get blown out last night, and I was fine with that.
That's what I'm saying. They gave us hope.
Like,
they were like, "Nah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win." We didn't. We lost. So,
I should have started Rob Gronkowski on my fantasy team. I didn't.
I should have started Jack. It is
anyway.
What it is, though. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. It was a hell of a fun week. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. We'll see you next Friday. And,
fun shit coming up.
Fun shit coming up.
There's fun shit coming out.
Talk to you soon, man.
I'm going to put it to you like this. There might be more of y'all in a couple weeks.
Ooh. You never know. Maybe we're expanding. Maybe it ain't just the Big 12.